live. I missed the sign. I missed the show. I'm Jacob Wanuch. With me, who do I have?
I am the new Professor Dave, and this is our first episode since May 3rd.
That is a long
To
time.
episode 23, number 23 this one is.
Yeah, so some changes. Dave's got much less hair than you used to have.
Yes, yes.
Any comments on that, or we just got to accept this, or?
Last night Nicole Too Much made a very mean comment about my hair, so I decided to cut it this morning.
Oh,
Yeah, just did this about a half hour ago.
brilliant. So let's talk real quick about where we are. I am in Toronto, Canada right now.
Toronto,
where I've
Canada.
been since December. Dave, where are you at?
I'm in a normal place. I'm in Chengdu, China. I don't know what you're doing in, what's it called again?
Yep, Toronto.
Okay. I'll Google that.
Not a whole lot, to be honest. Not a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still?
You got it. I heard.
You're still hitting the shows?
Let's see. We had Lily Ma was here on the 4th, and we had an open mic at Leg on the 8th. It's a little bit of a light month because August is always light. People are on vacation, but yeah, it's good to be here. I'll be here for the whole month, and then back to Manila.
So you're going back and forth these days?
These days, yes. This will be the last time, maybe this year, that I'll come back here.
Whoa, craziness!
So, how's your new job? What kind of school are you working at? Are you teaching kids English, or
it's still like education. It's arts and culture for a not-for-profit. It pays potatoes, and yeah, it's not the comfy living of Chengdu, but it pays some of my bills.
sounds like the Jacob thing to do.
Yeah.
How's the pussy over there?
No comment.
See, typical Jacob. He doesn't kiss and tell.
No, not even kissing these days, to be honest.
Good man. Oh, I see.
All right.
There's a laugh there.
Anyway, I don't know. Am I roasting myself?
Not getting laid these days, guys.
I think it's probably time for a special guest.
Who's our guest today, by the way?
Yeah, so people who have watched the show before will definitely recognize him. He's on a world tour right now. He's trailblazing the China to other places comedy circuit. Let's welcome Donnie Fan.
Oh, Donnie Fan again? Hasn't this guy been on like 50 times?
At least a few times.
This guy.
What's also funny is he's live from my house.
Live from Jacob's house in Toronto.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Is he at your house?
He's at my house. Yeah.
I'm at his house. I'm upstairs.
You're upstairs? I was gonna say maybe you guys can prove it.
We can.
They like different places you guys are in.
Well, I'm mid-level.
You want me to go up, or should I?
Jacob
you want to come down?
Jacob is below me. I prefer it that way. So I'm in. Well, how do we prove it? What do you want me to do?
Well,
to
it's
prove
very
it?
simple. Like one of us has to move.
My feet hurt. Your feet hurt. See, the thing is, me and Jacob
I'll
both have injured feet.
We're not going to show them on camera. We're not that kind of podcast.
But
if we get donors, we might consider becoming that kind of podcast. My job pays some of my bills, but not all of them. So.
I see.
Fair enough. So at some point, we'll bring Jacob up. You know what?
Is that you, Jacob?
What?
That sound.
By the way, live viewers, leave some comments or questions for our special guest.
Do we have live viewers?
Why are we doing this so early, by the way?
I have work tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
What
Right.
is the sound?
Let's be real. This is just like a nostalgia thing. Also, my roommate is testing speakers at the moment, so
You have a roommate?
yes. Yes, in
Not
Canada,
me. Not me.
a lot of us have roommates in Canada. Housing is very expensive here.
It's 11 in the morning, by the way.
Oh yeah. Get out.
It's been a while. By the way, I was just checking. Almost 1 year. It's been almost 1 year since our first episode. We're coming up on the anniversary of the talk show.
Oh wow.
It was
it's been 1 year.
September 3rd, 2022.
Yeah. We got into
Wow.
pandemic times and started just blasting this thing because we had fuck all else to do.
Yeah. All right, where should we begin? Donnie Fan, what are you doing in Toronto?
So I just got to Toronto a couple days ago after doing my headliner in Vancouver, and now I'm doing my headliner this Saturday at Second City in Toronto on Saturday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you doing it in front of Chinese people? Is that it? Was that your target audience?
Chinese people are definitely my target audience, but it's a show for everybody. You know, there were locals in my Vancouver show. There's going to be locals here. It makes it fun because they're like a really good talking point. You know, if I want to explain something in China, something that's different, I just get to like look at the white people and be like, now let me explain this to you. And then, you know, it's a really good kind of gimmick that I've been able to pull off using.
Is that what you call fansplaining? Is that it?
Yeah, fansplaining. That's pretty good. That's
That
pretty
works
good
on so many
fansplaining.
levels.
It does. It does. That's pretty good.
Yes. By the way, white people, Chengdu is a city in China. Huh?
Oh, I literally have that joke in my set.
Oh.
I'm gonna open for Donnie. I made him do that in order to live with me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I got Jacob on the card as my opener.
Oh, you're opening. Nice. For when is the show? Tonight or?
So it's gonna
This
be
week?
Saturday night Canada time, 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
right downtown, just off the lake. Beautiful location.
Cool.
If you're in Chengdu, you actually do have enough time to get to Toronto for the show.
All right. Look up plane tickets. What's the name of the venue, by the way? We'll shout out.
John Candy Box Theater, Second
All right.
City.
John
Yeah.
Candy, like the actor, like the fat guy who died.
Yeah, that
yes, Second City. It's
Shout out to-
Also was a comedian.
yeah, was a comedian.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's a real place. It's like literally 5-minute walk from my work. I'm not telling any of my coworkers about this.
And it's a legitimate venue. It's kind of scary. It's going to be to this point the most legit venue I've ever performed in. So,
well, congrats on being legit.
we
I
went
don't know.
to
The leg is pretty special.
The leg and whistle.
I
Yeah.
never performed there. So
One day you'll be big enough for the leg.
we went we went to a comedy show tonight to just go like hang out, and they asked if there's any Americans, and I said me, and the guy's like, oh, so what are you doing here? And I'm like, I've got a comedy show at Second City on Saturday, and the whole audience was just like, oh, like because
Yeah. That guy did not know what he was about to walk into.
yeah, he had no idea. And then he was like, the guy was like, oh, you know, if you want, you can come get up on stage for a couple minutes. And some guy was like, yeah, do it. And the guy was like, no, it's my show. So it's kind of when crowd work goes wrong.
Yeah. I will admit, it was a weird crowd tonight. It was like a tough room. There's like one of these rooms where you never get any momentum. Just every laugh, you have to really earn it.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty well-run establishment, I would say.
Yeah.
Is it the same?
Free.
Is it the same place where we're on Saturday night where you're going? I forget
No.
the name.
No, different spot. A little more
No.
uptown area.
Right,
Actually, I
cool.
want to do a quick shout out to Sam, who's here watching, who got us those tickets. Shout out to Sam.
Thanks,
Good friend of
Sam.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
and also for bringing us to a show tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on comedy in Canada, Donnie? I know you had some things to say.
Yeah, it's so that we saw four performers tonight, and they're really tight. You know, they're really tight. They're kind of dry though, so you know there's a lot of tension between the tightness and the dryness. Um,
Are we talking about comedy still?
yes, yes, we are. No,
I understand that joke.
so
That was
no,
nasty.
they're really technically sound comedians that we watched tonight. The thing is, my one criticism is I felt like I wasn't really very invested in them personally, and it's something that's just what I'm used to in China is like for somebody to really like thrive in comedy in China, they've got to have their own story, and you know it's just not like that in the West. And I forgot it's been so long since I've been to a Western comedy show. They're just doing like, you know, just straight jokes, just joke after joke. It doesn't really relate to anything. There's no real story behind it. It's just like, what's the next funny thing I can say? And it's been a while since I've been in that kind of show. So, you know, I just didn't feel as emotionally invested in it. But Jacob seemed to have seemed to enjoy the show a bit more than me.
Yeah, there are a
That's
lot of like Canadiana jokes, so like a lot of focus on Toronto things and Canada things generally. Um, Small market to go for, I would say, Canada. I think the whole place is smaller than Chengdu and Chongqing combined, so you're not getting a huge market with Canada, but I think there's a scene here. It's like a very much like a trenches scene at the bottom of it, and then you get into it, and you can go pretty far in North America if you do okay in Canada. But I will say it did feel like all of these jokes definitely they've done them 100 times. You know, they know exactly what their material is. But I would say that made it a little bit safer than I usually like.
Yeah.
I was looking for a little more risk, a little more like, hey, this is who I am.
I will say that for sure, like when you have comedians anywhere in the world who they look like they're just kind of going through the motions,
Hmm.
it's never really that fun. They didn't seem to really love their jokes. I guess that's part of it too. I mean, the headliner kind of did. The headliner was having fun with his jokes, but
Yeah.
the openers they were way too like cookie cutter.
They're a little cookie cutter, but they were very solid. They all had like the technical skills that you need to do this like and keep doing this and get the stages and get booked and things like that. So
For sure. I would just
I
say
was quite impressed.
they didn't have enough charisma. You know, there's no Professor Dave on stage tonight.
No, nothing like that. I gotta
um,
ask one thing
yeah.
actually. With all the hair gone, has your power decreased?
No, actually, I think the comedy has gotten better, especially in the Philippines, where the crowds can be quite judgmental. It's funny, as Donnie was saying, that yeah, comedy in Asia is all sort of identity based, and it's funny at the Beer Nest last night. I was just talking about that with Rob Bryan, by the way, Rob Bryan, founder of
Huge
Chengdu
shout out.
Comedy. That yes, it's very true. In the Philippines, that's also very true. Everybody, if you get on stage and you just start making your jokes, just start doing material, nobody's with you yet because they're waiting for you to kind of go the route of, you know, who are you? Tell us like what you're all about. And so some of the comedians there were saying there was like a disconnect between me, my persona, and my jokes on stage, and my appearance, which the Filipino audience would just be sitting there the whole time, just kind of distracted. Like, why does this guy look the way he looks? Who is he? Where is he from? What is his ethnic background? Is he Filipino, or did he grow up here? Where did he grow up? And
Yeah.
you know, like, you know, my style of comedy is very Western, as Donnie was saying, where, you know, you just get up and do your jokes. Nobody really cares like who you are and where you're from, because everybody's just sort of, we don't really see people as, or we don't look at people and wonder those kind of things, because you know, it's a very sort of diverse, multicultural, it's what we're used to growing up. So it's actually helped my comedy a bit. And I was asking people in Chengdu, because I did the Lily Ma show, if that's made a difference, but I think slightly less there, because we
But
do Western style in Chengdu.
like your caveman thing though won't work, right? Like when you like rip your shirt off and scream in the air, that's you would just look like a psycho now. Before you looked, indigenous.
I think I could. Nah, yeah, it definitely wouldn't work as much, but that's all right. That's all right. Yeah.
And you did used to do a thing where you would like wave your hair around, and I kind of missed that.
I don't remember doing that.
You
Just
took your hair down once. You took your hair down once, and you did that.
maybe that was for the caveman bit.
That might have been.
Yeah.
But you keep your shirt on nowadays.
Most of the time, I done the caveman bit. I think once. I did it in last time I was in Chengdu. I did it for the charity show.
Nice.
I did it once in Manila at an open mic.
Being in Jacob's house, I have tried to get him to take his shirt off. It is just not working. We did have a nice night where I was basically like a cat pawing at the sofa, and I kept hoping that would be enough to entice Jacob, but didn't happen for me.
Yes. All right. What about the rest of your tour, Donnie Fan? What countries have you been to, and which have struck you as most interesting?
So I did like 5 total shows in Malaysia, and then I went to Bali, and then from Bali I went to Vancouver. From Vancouver I came here to Toronto, and then I've got I have 7 official shows in New York City, and then I have a couple like guest spots on some shows that I'm not really promoting because I want people to come to my headliner. And that'll close the North American leg of the tour. I go back on another mini tour in October, and that's going to be back through Southeast Asia, and then in the winter I hit Europe. So there's quite a bit going on. I love Malaysia. I fucking love Malaysia. I got to headline the Georgetown Comedy Festival. Shout out Malaysia. Shout out to my buddy Garu. He is the guy who runs the comedy club in Penang, Malaysia, and it's very much so a Chengdu type of scene in Penang, and they're very racist in Penang, which makes comedy very open and fun.
Is that also a Chengdu thing, or?
I think it might be.
All the South Africans in Chengdu.
The thing in Malaysia is they're very like multicultural, and so like they love to play on the stereotypes of the different cultures there. Like they don't get offended by it. They really seem to enjoy like digging in at each other in a very loving and friendly way.
This where a woman made a Muslim joke and
it is. So that's Kuala Lumpur, the main city. And I also performed there in Kuala Lumpur. It was great. I killed. Yeah.
Awesome.
Shout out to me.
Nice. So how is it Chengdu-esque?
It's a small scene. At their shows, it's often the same kind of audience that goes, from my understanding. So they're always there to support. They don't do paid shows very often. They only really do it when visiting comedians coming in. Otherwise, it's mostly like open mics and stuff. They'll do an occasional paid show if there's some special reason for it. But it's really about the community. All the audience and comedians, they know each other. They're all just supporting each other, having fun. And the guy who runs it, Garu, he's a really great guy. He reminds me a lot of if somebody looked like Professor Dave with long hair but had the personality of Jacob Wanuch, that would be Garu.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, he has more like Michael Jackson hair. I once said that he looked like Michael Jackson with chemotherapy. So that was my little roast for him. I like the curls, but he's going bald,
I don't think you understand hair.
I'm not sure he does.
Nothing that you said in the last 30 seconds made any sense.
It's early. I think you're just not following.
All right. Have we got any good stories from tour?
Yeah. Oh my God. I forgot. I almost forgot. Thank you, Jacob. All right. This is the whole point of this podcast. I'm going to tell you about a pseudo date that I went on. All right. So everybody strap in because this is a wild one. I told Jacob I had the story. I would not tell it to him until this podcast. All right. Here's a wild one.
Wait,
So,
you got on this podcast just to talk about yourself?
just no, to talk about
What?
this girl.
Okay.
I got a girl to talk about, okay? All right, so I downloaded Tinder in Vancouver, as I tend to do when I want to sell tickets. I just, Shazai that Tinder. So I download Tinder. I haven't used it for a while. I reset my profile. I'm like, boom, I'm performing in Vancouver. Come see my show. And this girl matches with me. And so she sends me a message and she's like, wow, you're a stand-up comedian. I would love to, meet you, hang out. I've been working on some bits. I'd love to know what you think of them. And I think this girl's Chinese, right? Her pictures are pretty ambiguous. She's definitely Asian, but my Tinder profile is all in Chinese. So I just respond back in Chinese like, hey, yeah, I'm doing a Chinese open mic tomorrow night. You should come. I'd love to hear your jokes. We can talk about them. Cool. So the next night, so she says, yeah, sure, I'll definitely be there. So the next night, I go to the Chinese open mic. She's not there. I send her a message. I'm like, hey, are you coming to the mic? I don't get a response. I go, I perform, kill it, finish the mic, and I send her a message. And she's like, hey, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes. Sorry, I'm late. So I'm standing outside, and the guy who runs the Chinese open mic, he asked me, he says, yo, Donnie, is your Uber on the way? And I said, yeah, my Uber's coming. No, like it's going to be here in a couple of minutes. So she pulls in her car with like the music blasting. She like opens the door. It's this like 5 foot tall, maybe even shorter than that, maybe like 4'10", like Asian girl. And she's got tattoos all down her arms. And she yells, hey, I'm here. Get in the car. We're going to go. Come on, let's go. And I'm just like, they're just looking at me. And they're like, that's not an Uber. And I'm like, nope. Okay, guys, I got to go. So I get in this girl's car. And I'm like, so I start speaking to her in Chinese. And she goes, whoa, I'm Filipino. Shout out to Filipinos. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I thought I've been talking to you in Chinese. And she's like, yeah, your English is really good. I'm like, yeah, I'm from New York City, but like I've been in China for like 8 years. And she goes, oh, thank God. I thought you were going to be a fob that I couldn't talk to at all. I thought I was going to have to be using a translator to talk to you the whole night. This is perfect. And I'm thinking like the whole night. What's going to happen the whole night? I don't know. So, I asked her, I'm like, cool. So then you want to talk about some jokes, right? She's like, yeah. I said, well, you're driving. So where are we going? Are we going to a bar, a diner, a cafe, or what? She said, I need to go to the pharmacy. All right, we're going to go to the pharmacy. What are we going to do at the pharmacy? She goes, my nose hurts. So we go to the pharmacy. We spend 20 minutes looking for vitamin E lotion. Looking for vitamin E lotion for her nose. Now, I've never even heard of this kind of thing. You just put vitamin E in your nose or whatever. But I actually am the one who finds it for her. She goes, oh, thank you. She gives me a big hug. And then I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. It's just, vitamin E. We buy it. We go out. We get into her car. As soon as we get in the car, she takes saline solution, squeezes it, goes up her nose, then comes all out of her nose. Then she takes the gloppiness of the lotion, starts to put it in her nose, and then she takes out a little makeup bottle, twists it, opens it up, full of cocaine.
I knew it. I knew it.
I knew you knew it. I have never actually seen cocaine in my life before. You know, I don't do drugs. I don't do hard drugs, especially. I've never seen cocaine before.
Good job not doing drugs. That deserves a call.
She pulls out this thing, dumps a bunch of it on her phone, uses her credit card to line it up, takes out a little straw and just snorts it right there.
Whoa. Straws, man. Those things kill turtles.
So that's a joke from today. This one had a dick on it. Don't worry. So that's a inside joke, I guess. So she snorts coke in front of. She says, "I'm so glad you're here because I want to talk about my bits because just recently, like 2 months ago, I tried to kill myself. I overdosed, and then I was in the hospital for a little while. But I'm a physical therapist, so my job is really to like help people. But you have no idea how draining it is to help people because I'm like just so not in the right headspace to be helping people. Like, I mean, look at me. I'm a mess. Why am I doing this? I'm trying like really hard to just like, just live my life. I used to live in London, but now I'm in Vancouver and I don't even know why. And I stayed at my roommate's house last night, which is my house. So I guess I'm usually staying there. But when we had this guy come over and my roommate gave him a blowjob and then he came into my room and asked me if I could teach my roommate how to give a better blowjob. And I said, no, thank you. And so I'm just like not really sure what to do, but I have so many bits, and by the way, do you mind if I do like Special K? I won't do a lot. I'm just like, it will maybe affect my driving a little bit, but I don't mind. Is that cool with you? And I said, no, that's not cool with me. Please don't do Special K.
Did she offer you coke this whole time she's talking?
She did not offer me any cocaine.
She didn't even offer you?
She did not offer. Oh, she did tell me. I don't really want to say this because this is going to like get cut and put on somewhere. But I got to tell you what she said. When she saw me looking at her doing the cocaine for the first time, she said, Can you guess what she asked me what I wanted to do?
Something sexual.
She asked me if I want her to snort the cocaine off my cock. That's the word she used.
Yes.
I said no, thank you. I was terrified. I had no idea what was going on, and that was the second night of me being in Vancouver. Now, this girl comes to my comedy show the day after. And she asked me if she can be part of the show. Ooh. So I mentioned
you're
that
just thinking,
a girl...
like, can we just actually do the cock thing? Like, I'd rather do
Was she good? Was she like... did she look good?
She has she's gonna watch this at some point probably. She has my Instagram. She's probably gonna Google me and find this story.
I was gonna ask about the bits, but
so
we can leave that.
She's pretty attractive. She's pretty attractive. She also told me during her rampage that she does OnlyFans. So that one exists too.
OnlyFans for our audience.
I think OnlyFans is like a regular part of our Canadian welfare system, like our social safety network is.
Really? Yeah, I guess so.
Half joking, but
I do see a lot of nipples in Canada. I've never seen.
Oh, it's totally legal here. I don't know if you know this. Women are totally allowed to go topless wherever they want in Canada. The Supreme Court decided this.
So
the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
I haven't
way
seen
ahead of the population.
I haven't seen any topless people, but I see a lot of nipples.
We have a nude beach not more than a kilometer or so from where I work.
Oh, well, I know where I'm going tomorrow.
So did you get laid, Donnie Fan?
I don't know what that means.
Questions.
No, I did not. So this is a fun thing. I'm going to tell you this the way I imagine it. It was like 3:00 in the morning. I'm in the car listening to this girl go on a rampage for like 3 hours. So now it's like 3:00 in the morning. And I am, there's something that's legal in Canada that I was doing. I don't do anything illegal, but there was something legal that I was doing. And it was hitting me right about that point where I was like, you know what? Like, things feel nice to touch. I'm touching my hands, I'm touching the hair on my arms, and I'm just like getting in a good mood. And I started to think, you know what? I'm going to die someday. It might as well be because of chlamydia. Like, I just figured, I am just ready.
That one is treatable.
Yeah, that one is treatable, but it might have been like superpowered chlamydia. She did.
Are you saying you got Rastafarian up in Canada? Is that what happened?
Yeah, let's say that.
Did you do the when in Rome thing? Okay, wow, Donnie Fan.
Yeah,
wow.
When in Rome. I've been I've gone kind of crazy here.
God, you went totally crazy and
yeah. But thankfully, right around the time I might have been a little bit okay with it, she goes, "I'm out of Coke. I gotta go home. Where do you live?" And then she drove me home. And I was like, thank God.
There is a God.
There is a God. There is a God. I was saved. They saved me from this awful, awful experience.
You and I are not the same, Donnie Fan. I don't know. You and I are not the same. I don't know in what universe that's an awful experience that would be.
It was very scary.
Whatever happened to the nice Filipino woman I tried to hook you up with, my cousin's friend? Whatever happened with that?
Well, you never hooked me up with her. It's not like I've never met this person. But you got me her what's up. I said hi. She said hi. That was the end.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in here, and I'm going to say it might be time for our movie quiz. Now, our movie master, Michael Hampton, is in Macedonia, so maybe we don't want to have him on, or we can't have him on this time around. So we've got a stand-in.
Macedonia.
Or a sit-in, I guess.
Is that that's a joke, right? What the fuck is he doing in Macedonia? It's a joke, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sounds like a... Never mind.
Is he really in Macedonia?
Is he? I don't know. Did you not say that?
That's actually a real place? I thought that was in like a fairy tale that I read. Like,
yeah, I feel like you write that in a book these days, you get canceled. It just...
Okay. I don't get what's going on, but so no Michael Hampton today is what you're saying.
No Michael Hampton today is what I'm saying, but we have something a little more. You might even say too much. I'm gonna welcome Nico Too Much to the pod.
Yay!
Hey, welcome. You're muted. Oh, we got a shout out for North Macedonia. Hey,
shout out to North Macedonia. All right. It is a real place, guys. You heard it here first on the talk show. North Macedonia is a real place.
Dieter is here.
Yeah,
that's right. Dieter, by the way. Shout out to Dieter. Thank you for always joining us.
Yes.
Speaking of Dieter, we were all just at the Beer Nest last night for a very special farewell party.
Yeah.
Who the special guest maybe had a little too much to drink last night?
Yes.
Why is your name Niku?
Nico.
No, your name says Niku.
Yeah, that's okay too.
Niku, please.
Donnie, I don't think you understand how vowels work.
It looks nice. It looks cute.
Coochie coochie coo.
Yeah, I'm still just waking up from last night's alcohol still. I don't get how Davey just got back to drinking again. You were drinking.
Did he ever stop? That's
I don't think he ever stopped.
I had some coffee.
I'll show you my coffee.
Is that what I'm supposed to do, right?
Yes, let's go over the rules one more time because it's been a while.
We love
we
rules.
Have yeah, go ahead, Nicole. What are the rules?
I don't know the rules. Are there rules?
All right. I
I thought
might take over here, jump in.
okay.
So we're gonna do a movie trivia. I hope. Nico's gonna describe a movie that could probably be multiple different movies. The three of us are gonna guess. Whoever gets it right doesn't have to take a penalty shot of some kind or some sort of punishment. It doesn't necessarily have to be a shot. Some of my favorites include, oh gosh, Dewey Parker ripping up original pieces of artwork every time he got one wrong, which broke my heart too. It's a punishment for all of us.
I'll never forget that.
I think, Dave, did you do soy sauce at one point?
He did.
done-
He did soy sauce on my show.
I've done. I'm forgetting all the things that I did. I think I ate raw cabbage one time.
And every now and again, when I get one wrong, I'll listen to one of Donnie Fan's jokes. So.
Let's see.
I'm very unhappy.
So let's show really quickly what we have for penalty shots here. Dave, you want to start?
Well, I have my my Heineken here, which is not a punishment because it's one of my favorite beers. But here I have some homemade chili oil. Hold on. Can you get inside it? Yes, homemade chili oil. Sichuan. So, we see that. Put the
So how does this work? You just gonna pour some of that into your beer every time you?
yeah, put a little bit of this chili oil in the beer, and you might come to.
All right. Well, don't do that yet. We haven't lost yet.
Well, just in case. Well,
Yeah.
it's too late.
All right, Donnie, what do you have?
This is from Jacob, and it's awful.
Jacob's Private Reserve.
If I smell it,
That looks. Is that Baijiu? That looks like a.
It's
Is that
fully,
that's Chinese
that's
one?
Baijiu, yeah.
Wow.
It's
It
a
is-
slightly
it is.
gentler one, but it's
The taste of
Baijiu.
how. That's Wuliang Ye, Donnie Fan. How dare you?
Oh, it's not their like flagship kind of stuff. It's like this cheap stuff I found in like one of these stores that just takes overstock.
Look at that. Jacob Wanuch leaves Chengdu for like 6 months. Forgets where he came from.
And I am drinking the same thing, but I have it in a glass
Okay.
because I only have the one bottle. So I've assumed I'm going to lose all three, and I've put 3 shots. worth of
I
here.
assume so as well, since we have zero understanding of what this movie quiz is about.
All right,
Mm.
Nico, are we ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
What's the category?
You gotta guess, right?
We have to
We don't-
guess
yeah,
the
Category
category.
is movies. Movies.
It will
is
be
the cat-
movies that I think movies that I have seen.
Okay.
Movies that Nico has seen.
I choose the ones that I think it is pretty. It's not like people could know it.
Somebody might know
We'll
it.
see.
How many of these are classified as pornography?
Good question.
Maybe 2.
Okay.
Okay.
2 out of 3.
Should we
So-
start from those 2?
So I have a 66% chance of winning.
Okay, so there's a woman, the girl, and there were blood,
What?
but not her in between her legs, but not her blood.
I'm going to guess Carrie.
This is worse than Michael Hampton.
Wait, so there's a girl. There's blood between her legs.
No,
but
there's
not-
blood, but it's not blood from between her legs.
Yeah,
Which
There is
maybe makes
blood
Carrie a bad
between
choice,
her
but I'm
legs.
choosing Carrie.
There's
I'm going
blood.
with Carrie.
in her vagina, but that wasn't her blood.
I'm gonna say teeth.
Yes.
That's
Oh.
that's the
And
answer.
Dave, you don't get to
I never
guess.
heard of that movie.
Right?
All right.
Teeth? That's a movie?
Teeth. The
Teeth,
girl
go
has
look it up.
teeth in her vagina. She eats the penis. She eats the penis
That's
and
what
the
you-
man.
That's I understand now.
The
God.
movie is called Teeth. Oh, boom, bitches!
All
I
right.
just
I knew that's
Wait,
why I
are
asked.
you calling this pornography also? Like,
Oh, it's pretty
Yeah.
close.
I believe that is what does it for Nico.
Okay. 19th. Release date 2008, April 3rd. Genre
Yeah.
fantasy horror. Still a stranger to her own body, a high school student discovers she has a physical advantage when she becomes the object of male violence.
Fantasy horror. I don't know whose
I guess that
fantasy
means
that is.
she
Well, I
bites.
think I know whose fantasy that is.
I saw that movie in high school, senior year. Boom.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. All right.
So
All right. Penalty shot time. Who is it? Just all right.
Yeah,
Cheers.
I took my shot. I did that.
Oh, it's really good.
Chili oil Heineken. You heard it
Homemade
here
Sichuan peppercorn style chili oil. Okay, excellent.
first.
Ooh,
Actually, kind of makes me.
taking a minute for it to.
okay. What? Okay. The next one
Let's go on.
is a woman paying for sex. Recent movie. I think this may be a long shot, but
We need way more than a woman pays for sex.
No, it's her quiz, Donnie. It's her quiz.
yeah, more details. She wanted that experience. She has more money.
I know this movie. It's an old woman. And it's a black guy, right?
Yes.
Fuck! I know this movie.
I mean, I've seen probably several like this, if I'm being honest.
No,
Any
Not in
name?
theaters. Put it that way.
It's an old white woman pays a young black guy for sex. Is that basically the plot?
Yeah.
Is it like? Is it like? Have Fun, Lucas Grande?
I'm gonna go with Oppenheimer.
It's like Lucas Leo Grande. Leo Grande, is that?
Yes.
There's something else. Have Fun, Leo Grande. Good Luck, Leo Grande.
A recent movie.
Yep. Yes. Good Luck, Leon Grande.
Dave is not even guessing. Dave, don't worry, it's you and I. We're in this together, I guess.
2 out of
Alright.
3.
For the children I'm teaching tomorrow morning.
Aged woman and then black guy and then get a name.
Oh, it is recent. Okay. Emma Thompson.
Good luck to you, Leo Grande. Dylan
Wow.
McCormack, pretty
So
young, handsome fella.
be it. Where did Donnie Fan go?
To Canada, I guess. I don't know.
By the way, you guys have to prove you're in the same house by the end of the episode. Still, is he making his way downstairs? Okay.
No. He just is struggling with Canadian internet, I guess.
I got really excited that I won again, and I accidentally pressed X.
Wow. All right. Cheers,
Nice.
Jacob.
Yeah, I took one just now. Have you not been paying attention?
No, because I was on Google looking at these movies that what.
All right. Maybe we have a chance. You gotta at least guess something for the last one.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Two people, they're from different race, having fun together, but with job involved. They are like working together. Happily.
The Green Book.
I'm gonna say. Hold on.
I'm saying The Green Book.
The Green Mile.
I'm gonna.
It's,
Hold on. What's the one with
earlier
Jackie Chan
than
and Chris Rock? Fucking, that's my guess.
It's
Again?
early.
It's
Is it
Jackie
earlier
Chan
than
and
Green
Chris
Book?
Rock. What's that one called?
Oh,
It's my
good.
guess.
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour. I'm saying Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
They have
Rush
fun
Hour is a
together.
good one. I'm gonna say Lethal Weapon. There's
Dave,
no way
you said
Nico
Green
saw
Mile?
Lethal Weapon. It's definitely Rush Hour. So
I have no idea what kind of movies she watches.
I hope it's Rush Hour.
it could be the boy in the striped pajamas.
It could be
It's a
Jojo Rabbit.
white boy and a Jewish boy. It could
Do
be.
we just guess until somebody gets it right?
No, not normally. We made our guesses. Our
It
first
could
guesses
be
are-
Austin Powers Gold member.
Could be.
It's Mike
I'm sticking
Myers
with
and
Rush Hour.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Final answers.
It could be back in session live in Beijing. Right? Jacob and Professor Dave back in session? Class in session? Class in session?
Good
Maybe. All right, Nico, I'm going to say you said it's too early for a green book, so since Jacob said Rush Hour, I'll say Lethal Weapon, but I know it's not.
What do we got?
I'll go with Pulp Fiction. How about that?
Pulp Fiction.
That's a-
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's Intouchable.
Intouchable?
The
Untouchable?
Untouchables.
The Untouch. Kevin Costner? That one?
Something with horses.
Untouchable or
He's
Intouchable?
the guy in the wheelchair, and then he gets
Which movie?
I've heard of this
Oh,
movie.
it's the
before.
Intouchables. The Intouchables. That's a French movie. What the fuck?
and then they did like he couldn't. He was trying to take him to like find prostitute, or the wheelchair
What
guy.
the heck?
Okay,
This
it
is not a movie that's possible. This should be banned from the list. It's not even Hollywood. You just went auteur. You went like an auteur film. Like what?
It has to be American movie. No, it's a good movie. None of you watched it.
No,
Never even heard of it.
You got 2 out of 3,
It's
Donnie Fan. Take that. I like
All
this.
right, yeah, 2 out of 3. Hey, you got your 66%.
I did. I
Cheers.
got the porn ones correct.
Drink some of my fucking Baijiu.
This is fun.
Ha. That was unpleasant.
Yes. Well then. All right, Nicole. So what's going on? When are you moving? And what's the first thing you're going to do when you get to Beijing?
Why are you going to Beijing?
To try. I'm sick of living in a comfortable city, so I want to challenge myself.
Beijing's very comfortable. I found it's very user friendly. They've got the ring roads. The center is mostly a grid. For a big city, it doesn't have that feel. Not like Shanghai. I really enjoyed the week that Jacob and I went to Beijing. That was almost a year ago today, by the way. That was late August of 2022. Yeah,
pretty much a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I can't believe that it's been a year since you bombed in Beijing. Oh, no, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Chirps.
Just kidding.
Yes, it's been a year since you put us in a cafe at 2:30 in the afternoon in the countryside.
Look. Every comedian needs to have that experience of performing in a fish out of water situation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I did that for your growth.
Mm-hmm.
That was for you.
That was also very important for Joe Wong, who also
That's right.
performed. He needed a bit of growth. He needed an experience to remind.
That's right. Thanks for opening for us.
I will say that Jacob gives me a lot of growth here in Toronto.
He's talking about weed.
That's
growth. The
Donnie,
maple leaf.
I can't believe you smoked the devil's lettuce, Donnie Fan.
I have not smoked anything.
You ate a brownie.
He's American. He's never gonna smoke if he can eat.
It's a lot of drinking of it. It's really cool. You can drink it.
There is no way that you can't consume weed in Canada. I'm pretty sure they've got suppositories somewhere.
Suppositories.
Just shove something right up the. Anyway.
Shout out to suppositories.
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run upstairs real quick, say hi from
Yeah,
Donnie's
do it.
screen. This is the proof.
Do it.
I'm gonna miss out on the next minute or two of conversation.
All right, cool. So, Nico, why are you coming to Beijing?
To do comedy in Beijing, I think. Yeah.
I think.
Are you going to join the Comedy Citadel?
Yes, I heard it's a pretty good company.
Get out.
Ooh.
Oh my God, they're in the same place at the same.
All right, you.
This
Oh
is
my.
us. Look at this.
Oh
Look at
my.
this. Look at this. This handsome guy. You can't see
You
it
can't
because of the
see it. We
sign.
got a name
They're big
blocking
ass.
it. Stand up.
Yeah.
All right, let me go downstairs.
All right, he wants to go down again.
Stop.
Okay.
Oh my God.
How do we know that's the Wanuch?
I can confirm that he uses tweezers to help himself pee.
Okay.
Tweezer. To hold it.
So hold it up, yeah.
I don't, Donnie Fan, you're talking to the only girl in Chengdu who Jacob hasn't banged. So
All right, that was a weird thing to walk back into.
That's what she said.
I don't know what libel and slander has been coming my way in the 2 minutes I've been gone.
I feel like this podcast is going to be the one that gets all four of us canceled.
Is it?
It might be.
I feel like I've cut worse things off of you in previous podcasts.
Have you?
Nothing wrong.
Oh, remember once there was like a time we did a podcast and I had to like edit out 3 parts of the podcast because
Oh, that was for Journey. Yeah.
yeah.
Still not finished yet. Damn.
Post-production.
Post-production sucks. Yeah, I'd say post-production hell. They have like gone through like the censorship like 4 times. It's not been fun.
Are they, so like they're keeping that clean for like Chinese audiences or American audiences or what? I'm guessing
Ultimately
Chinese?
for all audience, like
All audiences.
censorship. Our understanding of censorship was like nothing that's gonna go against China, right? Like that makes sense.
Yeah, right. We want to be nice to our friends.
shout out to China. Shout out to China.
We love China. I wouldn't, it's not part of our acts anyway. None of us do like anything that's like makes, is anything negative. But just like doing like any kind of racial joke or like stereotype, like comparing something, like I have a joke where I'm like, am I in a Japanese hospital? And like that joke has to get censored because it may be considered disrespectful to Japanese people. So it's
I would
like
love
fuck.
to hear like that joke, but just with a beep instead of like they don't cut it out; they just beep it.
Just beep.
Am I in a beep hospital?
That would be kind of fun. And everybody would assume I said fucking, but it would be really funny because the subtitles would be like,
I know. Why would it be a Japanese hospital? Or like people missing legs and arms and like with severe burns and stuff?
well, that is way darker than I go.
Okay. All right.
You got to come to my show to find out, I guess.
I see. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're just kind of in like a constant cycle of censorship right now, and it's not fun. Like, because the comedians, of course, they want to see their shit. It would have been way better for my tour had that video already been out, but also not better for my tour because then I wouldn't be able to do those jokes. So I get to do all my best jokes.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That's real.
So that's a real thing. I'm kind of lucky that it hasn't come out yet.
What's the thing is like once you release things on the internet, right? Everyone's heard your joke, and in comedy, everybody who does comedy knows like the first time you tell a joke, that's when it hits the hardest, and after that, you're just like taking huge like losses of values. It's worse than a car.
I don't understand the car comparison.
Oh, like you drive a car a little bit and you cut half the price off immediately, and then the more you drive it, the less it's worth.
Oh, that's true. I don't have enough money to own a car, so look at you, Jacob, richest guy in the room.
I do not own a car.
Kinda, but you have a chauffeur.
What?
Yeah, Jacob has a chauffeur who lives with him.
That is not that situation.
Is it a female chauffeur?
One of them.
Yes.
One of them. He has two chauffeurs, and they take turns, I think, from what I understand. But they're
Nice.
very nice. They're very nice. One of them's a doctor. She performed surgery on Jacob the other day as well for free, no cost at Canadian Healthcare. I
Mhm.
saw her rip into Jacob's foot and pull rocks out of his foot, and none of that is a lie.
Well, okay, hold on. The chauffeur bit, that is a lie. The fact that she pulled rocks out of my foot, less so. They were pebbles. They were like little grit bits.
There were a lot of pebbles.
There were a lot of little pebbles.
She licked them out at one point.
She
It was gross.
did not.
Speaking of licking things, why don't
my
we
God.
move to everybody's second or third favorite recurring talk show, Hyman Busters with Jacob Wanuch.
Great. So the Mythbusters had this long-running, amazing show called the Mythbusters. It was Adam Savage and Jamie Heineman, which is really close actually to what we're about to talk about it. And they busted a different myth every single time. But we're gonna bust one myth every single time we do this podcast, since like that one time I think Nico, you suggested it. And this is the myth that hymen intactness is any sort of reliable indicator of whether or not a woman is a virgin. Now, virginity is a sexist, broken concept that makes no fucking sense. But beyond that, hymens are not actually a reliable indicator of whether or not a woman has had sex before. And this is really problematic, mainly because of sexism. But also because of the fact that, like women who do certain sports are more likely to have broken hymens in general. Women who have had sex before might have a totally intact hymen. The hymen is a pretty elastic membrane once some estrogen gets at it. And so we have to really question ourselves as to why we care so much about popping cherries, as that ridiculous phrase goes, when cherries are delicious and we should be picking them off trees and not worrying about whether women have had sex before. And you know what? Honestly, my personal take, I am more into people who have understood what they like and understand who they are as sexual people. This has
Is
been
it
Hyman
in?
Busters with Jacob Wanuch.
Is it insane in that membrane?
It can get insane in the membrane, but mainly men are being insane in the membrane.
Okay, but what if some people just like the feeling of more blood?
All right, let me educate you on something called a period.
Okay.
Have you ever taken a V card, Donnie Fan?
I have never.
I see.
I have never. I mean, I have stolen a couple, but never really taken.
What? How do you?
What?
What?
I don't know what that means. That probably means something that I don't want it
think
to
it
mean.
means
So
you
I take it back. I take that back. I take it back. I take it back.
Yeah, you were going for a bit and you went in a bit deep.
Take it back. But no, truthfully, I have not. It's never been something that I wanted to seek out or do. I suppose that the closest I've ever been was with my doctor.
What?
Go on. How did you almost take your doctor's virginity / maybe steal it?
Oh, V card means virginity. I thought it meant like vegan meal.
Good one.
Sorry,
Yeah.
my misunderstanding.
Ha.
Ask Nico that question. Don't ask me.
We've.
Nico,
Let's see.
have you been anyone's first time? I'm discouraging the concept of V cards. I am.
So I sleep with virgin before.
Have you? Sure.
We say, have you taken anybody's virginity? It's like, I call that a V card. Is that?
It's
Yeah,
not
like,
take,
I think
but
virginity is a dumb concept.
yeah, I took one before.
Did you
Yeah.
take it by force?
No, not really. Don't think so.
That's good. I heard
think
it doesn't
I
count if
consider
you
it as a gift. People,
if
Gifts are good.
pack it and
They're
like,
good.
take it and I take it.
It's very much the point at which we've hit 0 live viewers.
Jacob, why are you
Podcast equivalent of walking a room.
anti V card, Jacob Wanuch?
Why am I anti V card? Because I think we fixate too much on virginity as a concept. I think there's still too much like baggage associated with it, and frankly, it's also coming down to this thing of like, how do you get a job with no experience?
People like to use. They can make their own
And
experience.
I'm gonna say someone who knows their way around themselves. Who needs
But
the
it is a
experience?
both sides thing.
You tell me what to do. 9 times out of 10, I'll do it.
I kind of know the way around Jacob too.
That's a claim.
Okay, viewers, any suggestions for our live musical
We have
hoedown?
no viewers.
We have a 10-second delay.
We do have a 10-second delay.
Yes, we have a
But
10
we have
second.
but we have no viewers.
We do. We do. Somebody.
Do we? Just throw a comment on if you're watching.
We're coming.
We're gonna do a hoedown, which is just generally a bad idea.
It's
I'm
the
gonna look up
same thing, right?
Yeah, it's the
Yes.
same. We
So
every fucking
difficult.
It's not that difficult.
time. All
Just
right,
think of some and then write some lines around it.
I have to tune my guitar. I haven't used this thing in a while.
All right. If no audience will make suggestions, we have virginity. We have snorting coke off Donnie Fan's dick. We have. What else did we talk about today? We have what was that weird movie with the? We have old women paying for sex. We have what else going on?
Oh, teeth. Let's do it about teeth.
All right, teeth. Fine.
Bitey vaginas, teeth. All right. I'm gonna pull this over here, and we'll see if I can do something. Can you hear this?
Yes.
All right. That'll be roughly the thing I try to do. We'll see if I can repeat that. We're going to go Professor Dave, followed by Donnie Fan, followed by Nico, and then myself. We're doing this song about Teeth, the movie in which, what is it? A woman faces violence, and then it's a fantasy horror.
She has
and
teeth in
she
her
uses
vagina.
Her vagina dentata, if I recall correctly, to chomp off some risky sausage.
Yep.
That's what I'm calling it. I mean, all sausage is risky sausage, let's be honest.
Let's go.
Can't really hear the guitar too well.
All right, let me change my mic up real quick so that you can hear the guitar.
I can hear it.
How's that?
Perfect.
So I'm gonna just do the last few chords, and then we'll jump into it and we'll see how it goes.
please.
Dave,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna go through one more time.
Okay. Last night, met a very pretty girl. She said her name was Ruth. She smiled really wild. She only had one tooth. But I said that's okay, 'cause we had a really nice time. Then the police showed up. Turns out she was too young.
Woo. She was too young. We repeat the last line.
That's right.
Anyway, Donnie Fan, I'm gonna run through the last bit and you go nuts.
Okay. Found my way inside Toronto where I called Canada. Met a girl, she had a lot of cocaine and a banana. Then she said she wanted me to go down on her now. And I found out she had teeth bigger than a cow.
Bigger than a cow.
Wow.
I feel dry. I cannot say anything. I can't even make it to a song.
This was a great idea.
And I hate this game.
And I hate this game.
We should do it again.
I think we got more viewers. The worst. I was going to a place that had a bunch of sheaths. I wanted to find out where they kept their teeth. I wanted to know where my sausage was. But I fucked up it all and then it was a bust. Then
it was a bust.
I'm so sorry.
So difficult.
That was
Sorry for not being able to finish it. Wow.
I did my best.
You did a great movie quiz, Nico. You made Michael. I'm sure you made Michael Hampton very proud with your
He was so proud.
vague description.
I think he's mad that he never got to do that particular movie quiz.
The teeth one?
The teeth one? What was his teeth followed by
To you, Leo. What?
Good luck, Leo Grant.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
teeth followed by like an old lady hiring a young male prostitute, followed by an old rich French dude hiring a young black caregiver.
Mm.
Some interesting power dynamics there. I'm just
For
gonna
sure.
say I don't know what Beijing's kink scene is like. Good luck where you're going. I bet you it's twisted.
I think there will be probably more twisted people in Beijing. I'll be looking forward to that.
You know what kind of ruins a lot of the fun in Toronto is that we're just allowed to do that.
So it is better when people control you and won't let you do it.
No,
when
in Vancouver, I saw so many men wearing just like straps that cover their penis, but their assholes all exposed, totally exposed.
Shout out to Vancouver.
There were like
Yeah.
30 of them.
That's how you
Hit
do
up
it.
the nude beach, you'll see a lot more of that.
Wait, what do you mean? You mean they just enjoy that style? Is that dress up style now?
Yeah,
Or
they're
they're
allowed.
homeless?
They're allowed to go out naked, basically.
And people
Canada.
like that.
Yeah, but there's so
Well,
many.
they like it. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
they like it. I don't think I'm allowed to not like it, right? Isn't the thing I'm supposed to be like I'm okay with it, everything?
you don't have to like it. You just
Ignore
don't
it.
spit on them or anything.
I'm trying to make sure they don't spit on me, okay?
Yeah.
Actually, some of them
That's
can't because they
interesting.
had gag balls in their mouth. So I
All
went
right.
to
One thing
Vancouver.
I will
where-
freely acknowledge is Canada is full of crazy people. We are willing to try anything once or twice.
So Canada, legit insane. The homeless people in Canada even have more personality than the homeless people in New York City. I really
yeah?
believe that. I was
Yeah.
walking on the streets and there was like this homeless guy and he was looking and he was just like, these shoes are leather. These shoes. And as I was walking by, he's just like, son, these shoes, they're leather.
Shells? Like seashells?
They're leather.
Shoes.
These shoes.
Shoes.
These shoes are
These
leather.
shoes. And he's
Is
just
that a
yelling.
Is that Canadian accent?
No, that's not. That is how he talked though.
He
was
said shell
He
instead of
was
shoe.
like, he was like straining his voice. He's like, these shoes are leather. It was just that over and over. And there was another homeless lady who was walking around and she was just like flapping like a bird. I saw that today.
Where the fuck were you?
Danforth.
Really? They've come
Yeah.
to this neighborhood. Cool.
I went to the gelato on the Danny.
Ah, that the good gelato.
It was okay. It was Ibam. And then I got my beard done.
All right.
guy
Well, we
named
told you to
Sam-
go to a different place for your fucking ice cream. Don't blame me.
Oh, wait, I forgot the ice cream place. I'll go tomorrow. Send it to me.
It's anyway. Well, I'll send you that tomorrow. No one else needs to hear about this, I guess.
Yes, they do. If they go to Toronto, they need to know where the
Quick
best
shout out
ice
to
cream is.
Serrano Bakery on Pape. Go there
Oh.
tomorrow.
I did go to Serrano Bakery.
Did you get their ice cream? Their gelato?
I looked at it.
Nice.
There was a really long line of people getting bread, and I said, "Fuck this," and I left.
It's pretty famous. This bakery.
Bread lines?
Bread
Bread lines
Well,
in Canada?
lines in Canada. There were so many people getting bread. And when
Wow.
I say bread, I don't mean money. You know, I mean bread.
it's
like-
a European bakery. They
Like
do good,
wheat.
they do good work.
Like
Yeah.
it's not even European; it's Eastern European.
I
Yes.
was gonna say it sounds like a Soviet Union bakery.
It is.
Okay,
Oh,
it is really.
My favorite thing about the whole place. It is.
That's
Yeah. It
long
kind of,
lines.
yeah.
Yes.
No. You go in and like you try to talk to anyone and they're like, "Take a number. Where's your number?" And I'm like, "I'm not."
It's
Jewish
basically the PSP in China.
Is it the
Yes.
public security bread?
You take a number and then you get ice cream. It's pretty great. You know,
Yeah. And you do get the ice cream.
love that PSP ice cream.
Do they
By
have an
that,
ice?
I mean Visa.
Are they the ice cream Nazis? Is that it?
The ice cream Gestapo.
Ah, I see.
Way
Forget
better
the
name,
cake,
right?
but
The
the-
ice cream
How
Gestapo.
about the gelato Gestapo?
The jalapeno.
The guess.
The jalapeno.
We're trying too hard here.
What else are we gonna do?
I saw what we were going for, but
What is the future of the talk show, Jacob Wanuch? Are we? Is this going to be it? Are we? This is your time or mornings?
yeah,
we-
right now,
we-
like I am being irresponsible about my sleep patterns, and
I
I'm
see.
happy to do that right now. I'm happy to do that.
All right, so folks, yes, we will.
But, like,
we will
but-
continue
so
this tradition.
This
just
started
with
as
the
like a
time.
Chengdu thing, and as
Yes.
of like a month from now, none of us will be in Chengdu. Is that about right?
I might be.
What are you
Like,
going to be?
living there, or like just like?
I heard that Chengdu needs a new organizer, producer, so I'm just thinking of going
Whoa!
to
Shots
Chengdu to
fired
do
at
shows.
Corey Goldblatt. Shots fired. Here
I'm
comes
kidding.
the Beijing invasion.
I'm kidding. Me and you know, we've got big things going on in Beijing, yeah? Big things. Big things. The shoes, leather shoes.
What kind of big things in Beijing are happening? Any upcoming shows? Who
talking
are the
about it.
stars on the scene right now? We did have we had George and Luke in Chengdu and Chongqing last month in July.
Yep.
Great shows, I heard. Right? Who are we watching in Beijing? Who are the comedians to keep an eye on?
As of 2 weeks from now, Nico Too Much. Heard she's awesome. You gotta watch her. Comedians to keep an eye on. I think if I actually list a couple of them, the ones I don't list will be very angry. So if I
Are you saying that they're actually not gonna like you
if I list all of them, I'm gonna forget somebody. And-
You're gonna ruin your fantastic reputation among the comedians who all love you. You're gonna lose all of their love.
It's true. I think a big up and comer who I'm really excited to see start performing. Her name is Anne. She's a German girl. German Chinese.
Shout out
And
to German.
Anne is give her like 4 or 5 months. I think she'll be making a big splash in the scene. But she's
Yo,
yeah.
man. Cool.
Not there yet. The ones who though I'd really like to see go to Chengdu soon. Probably Jacob Wanuch.
Shout out to Jacob Wanuch.
Not Beijing, for sure.
Shout out to Jacob Wanuch's static, whatever's going on.
Yeah, great job, Jacob's microphone sounds great.
No, I'm not in Beijing, so.
Okay.
Jacob, do you know that your microphone is making crazy noises?
Is it doing that?
Okay, that's better.
Oh God, no, Jacob is way better. Okay.
How about now? Did it help?
Oh, that's way better. Yeah.
Okay,
better.
great.
Cool.
I'm not in Beijing, so that doesn't answer the question.
That's true. That's true.
Should we? I think Michael Hampton should be waking up.
Hey,
it's
if
about
he's
30
willing
a.m.
to join us, I'm willing to
Mhm.
chat with him for a little bit, add a little bit more lag and delay.
Would love
Nico,
to-
how was your roast?
Pretty good, pretty fun. I left. Like,
Who was at your roast last night? Let's shout out to the roasters.
we got Jacob Corey's video. It was really fun. Yeah, Corey was in by the beach. Looks like having like great beard.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I want that video.
he's going Jim Carrey. I think he's going full on Jim Carrey. Great beard.
yeah.
Shout
That was
out to
fun.
Canada.
And then we got Leon, Marcius, Sheila. All very, very good.
Sheila fired some shots. I was surprised.
Yeah. Yes, it was fun.
Fingers from old Sheila.
My roast to her roast to me.
Yeah. We took some shots at her. Also.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Dave is good. Making, yeah. What was the one again? He said, Nico is so good, do comedy for 6 years and only got 45 minutes of material.
I was saying if John. By the John. We leave out John Matthews. I was saying if as hard as John Matthews tries to be young, if Nico tried that hard at comedy, she'd have more than 45 minutes after 6 years. By the way, yes. Then she hit me. She hit me after. She said I had more than 45 minutes. I have 2 hours.
Yeah, I hit you.
How does that work? How much material do you need to have in total to actually be able to have a good, let's say 30, 45 minute, even hour long set? I mean, you might have an hour of material. That doesn't mean you have an hour show, right?
Yeah.
So
What do you
I actually, when I started doing comedy, I only wrote jokes that I thought would fit into my show. So like I would have jokes that are funny, but they wouldn't fit in anywhere or it would be against my personality. So I just wouldn't. I just like do them in a book somewhere. And I've never told them. Like I typically only tell jokes if I think they're gonna fit into my show. So I think I don't know how many comedians actually do that, but I do think it's a really good practice or exercise to write things like, to work on something that's gonna flow, or think like more in terms of how you can connect or add to your jokes.
Hmm. I pretty much take old jokes, kind of play with the setup, try to string a set together. Um, Obviously, yes, in my entire repertoire of material, if I have a set plan that goes with, maybe there's a certain theme or flow. Some naturally, a lot of jokes just are not going to fit into that particular set, so unfortunately they don't make it.
Yeah, I think I would do. I never really thought about like, oh, I'm gonna put this in the whole thing. I just kind of let the interest go, so that I'm just very into doing sex jokes for 2 3 years, and none of those material for those 2 3 years can go into any set. So I just have it is just kind of like a personality practice almost, instead of getting like really good, be able to say on stage jokes.
Hmm.
But then a lot of people do it like, um, they would say it was almost even better if you just do every year you get a whole new material. But then they don't have to be so glued together.
Hmm.
I think, yeah.
I have my material is kind of starting to split into two separate directions, especially ever since I've been doing comedy in the Philippines. So I have a set, or at least a direction, that's kind of identity based, which is about me being half American, half Filipino, and a Chinese wife, and about living in China. And then I have the majority of my jokes are just kind of absurd, ridiculous, um, especially the angry jokes where I put on a character. And those kind of jokes, which are based on my true self, and those which are kind of ridiculous exaggerations of my personality, they don't mix together well. So that seems to be, I'm either going to go one way or another if I'm going to do a long set.
It is fun, so it is like more than one layer people can enjoy. There will be like multiple multiple levels. More 3D the character.
Could be, could be.
I'm really excited to do my set about traveling because I've already got like 35 minutes from just being on the road.
Oh
It's
yeah.
great. Yeah. I'm sure in Philippines it's probably pretty easy to like just like start writing stuff because it's like we already are used to writing about our own culture. So then when you're jump into another culture, like the flow, the rhythm, the logic of a joke, we already have that, and then it's just like, oh my god, look at all these other new different things that I can write about.
I haven't had as much success with the cultural angle in the Philippines as I did with in Chengdu. In Chengdu, it's pretty clear I'm a foreigner who's very well adapted to the foreign culture and has these observations. In the Philippines, I still haven't quite figured it out because it's foreign to me and yet also not foreign, and I know the audience is seeing a Filipino on stage. They're not seeing a foreigner. It's not like where Jacob could go and really play the foreigner angle, where it's like, oh, I'm making these observations about the country as a foreigner. I don't know. I feel like I can, in some ways I can do it, in some ways I can't. That's been a real challenge for me. So mostly,
Have
I
you
don't know,
tried?
dirty jokes over there is what works for me, and sometimes China jokes do work.
Have you tried the angle of like, I'm not accepted here, or like people don't see me as a foreigner? Have you just like tried that angle?
I have, yeah, and
Not.
it's some of it has gone well, but it's something I still need to work on it. I don't really have totally killer material, but some of it has worked pretty well. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to a move. I wonder what Beijing will influence. Could be fun.
So Beijing is a more vanilla kind of audience, I guess, right? I mean, when Jacob and I did our co-headliner there, they pulled back on a lot of our jokes, but in Chengdu, people were just like, yeah, more.
Well, Jacob's rape joke went over pretty well with me.
It was a pretty tame joke, and everyone liked it. However, I definitely tried to like walk into some more like risky material, some more like degenerate stuff, and people were like very much pulling back, and I had to like adapt and like do some things on the fly to be like, all right, well, like most of you didn't like that, but if you did like that, talk to me after the show. Kind of little things in there to like acknowledge that like, okay, most of you are not into the kind of like grim / very sexual things.
The reason Beijing's just not really conditioned for it. Like,
Yeah,
we have like kind of established ourselves as a pretty clean scene.
yeah.
For a few years now. Like, at least
I'm
what
not allowed to say vagina. So mad.
I don't know what you're gonna do in Beijing.
I don't know neither.
what you're
Like, what? I think I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's like, just hint it. Like, you have to hint vagina. Like, the point because like people also don't say penis on stage.
Yeah.
No, penis is also like the worst word. Penis is like my least favorite word to say. Like, the only word I like less than penis is dick. Dick sounds weird too.
But I think people kind of what Dave was talking about, observing, like when you observing, but I can't see anything. Like, I'm not in Beijing long enough to see. I can feel the differences, but I can't really pin them down.
But one
And
thing is like
exactly what.
when you get there, I think you're gonna have a perspective that is fresh to them. Like, to people who live there for a while, you forget about the things about your city that are kind of strange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't know how I will feel. Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Plus,
People look at
once
me,
you get
yeah.
there, what's going to be really refreshing for them is there's going to be someone funny in the city, and so.
Yes.
I think, yeah. They are kind of they are kind of the audience position is higher than the speaker in Beijing. So the comic is almost always a little bit scared. I think, like,
Yeah,
not
Donnie
very.
Fan trained them. That's
They
Donnie
don't
Fan.
walk over the audience and destroy them like that. They just really trying to keep things, make them happy, and that I think it would be fun to play with.
For sure. Well, this has been a great episode of the talk show.
Are you ending it, or?
Who said are you like bringing it to a thing? This is our show.
I'm not ending it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that, we've got real high energy here tonight, guys.
Well, you guys, it's late for you guys. Nico's hungover. I'm drinking already.
Let's talk like different scenes. Moving to a new scene. I mean, Donnie, you're jumping all over the place right now. Nico, you're about to move to Beijing. Dave, you've been going like Chengdu, Manila. How hard is it to adapt to a new scene?
Yeah, I really struggled at the beginning in the Philippines too. I think it's just I really haven't lived there enough. Now, since I've been back this time around, it's been 6 months total. It's just there's just no substitute for experience and time. And so 11 years in China, and all that time as a professor, sort of every day. Standing in front of a group of 30, young adults and trying to make them laugh, for years. There's just you can't accomplish that much cultural learning and understanding in the short amount of time I've been there. So I just kind of rely on my universal jokes and try to work in some more cultural jokes the best I can. Translate some of my older jokes into Tagalog because my funny accent seems to have a good effect if I acknowledge it and kind of take that route. Yeah. You guys want to hear one of my new jokes?
Would love to actually, yeah.
You guys have to. It's a knock knock joke, so you guys have to. We need audience participation. You guys know how knock knock jokes work, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, so all right, I know. Okay, so knock knock.
I'm here.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Oh, who's there?
Okay, you guys do not know how knock knock jokes work, do you?
Who's there?
All right, try it again. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? Who?
Who's there? Who?
Who's there? Who? A good one, right? It's a good one. Because you guys feel stupid. You guys, right? You don't know how to do a knock knock joke.
Dave is canceled.
It's the third time I watch him do the joke on stage and make everybody stupid. Keep on doing it.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great episode of the talk show.
All right. Donnie, you do have
what's-
to weigh in a little bit about
What's the new scene like? I'm gonna be honest, which is gonna make me sound a little arrogant, I think, but I hope not. Because it is something I feel very lucky about. Like, my biggest fear, like from Beijing going to like another city, was like, what if people don't like me? What if my jokes aren't funny or gonna work or whatever? And I just found that to not be true. And as I go through different cities and now different countries, I get almost the exact same response from every country that I go to, which is like, Donnie, your comedy is so fresh to us. It's different than what we usually hear. And I got that pretty much in all the cities I went through in China, and I got it in Malaysia. I got it in Vancouver. And I just think that I'm very lucky that my style of comedy is just very specific to me. You know, there's not a lot of overlap with jokes, like, because I'm just, everything's a personal experience. So, you know, even if there is an overlap, it's still authentic. And I just think I've been really lucky to find that kind of style travels really well. Now, I've got Toronto this Saturday, and I'm still panicking. I never stop panicking. The one thing about like going to these different cities is I never feel comfortable. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, like that, but I've still like never ever gotten to a point where I just go like, I'm gonna go kill this show tonight. Like it hasn't. I never feel that way. I'm always kind of panicking until that first laugh. But once I get that first laugh, it just feels like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Muscle memory is going to kick in. But yeah, I feel very lucky, very humbled.
When you go to a new place, how easily do you just kind of, you arrive at the airport, you get in a taxi, you go to your hotel, you go to the show. How easily do you just like come up with new material about being in a new place? Because I think as a traveling comedian, the first thing really you need to do, or do you also feel that way, that the first thing you need to do is just have jokes about like observation jokes about being in a new place?
Look, when I don't know what's wrong with me, but like just jokes just land in front of me all the time. Like I got to Kuala Lumpur, which is like the first foreign country I'm doing my comedy in, and as I'm like walking through the airport, there's just this big fucking sign that says "Stop Yellow Fever," and I'm just like, well, that's a fucking joke. I don't even need to say anything. I just need to mention that this sign is here. And then like I'm thinking like, oh, let me think like what's going to be the funny thing of like how do I make this double entendre? So I read the "Stop Yellow Fever" sign, and the first line says "Wash your hands," and then it's just like, oh yeah, that makes sense because you know white people won't fuck people with with clean hands. So, it's like it's just really simple fucking things. I got into the taxi, and in China we learn swear words from taxi drivers, right? Like taxi drivers will teach us fucking everything. And I get into this Malaysian taxi, and the guy starts driving, and almost immediately we get cut off. And I'm just like thinking, like, yes, I'm gonna learn like the Malaysian swear words. And then the driver was just like, "Oh, what a silly, simple man." And I just thought, like, what a nice way to like have road rage. Like, what the fuck? Like what a silly, simple man. It's just like these things are just, that was like my first 10 minutes in Kuala Lumpur, and it's just like the first moment something happens different than what I'm used to, I feel like, cool, let me jump on that, let me compare and contrast, let me juxtapose this and that. Like, you just gotta, I think as a comedian, if you're traveling, you just gotta really try to like just be aware of what's different. I think too many people, they're not really aware of what's going on around them. As Jacob said, when you're in a city for so long, you kind of forget what's strange about your city. And I think some people just feel that way about everything. They just don't think or focus very much on like differences between like place A and place B. Or they just are like, they just accept that there's different without questioning why. So I think I just am hyper aware of when I see something that is different than what I was expected.
So in your show, when you get on stage, you just start right with that. I got to the airport and I saw this sign. You just jump right into that and then go on to your material, or what?
So it really depends. In Malaysia, I introduced that part about like maybe 25% of the way through. When I got to a joke I do about airplanes, I brought it up. But there's definitely been places where I open my stuff with what's new. Like when we went to Chongqing and I talked about the Chengdu pool party, it was like that just happened. When I went to Vancouver, my first joke in Vancouver was about Starbucks, because I had an interesting experience at Starbucks, which is part of my show now as well. And so like that's a pretty easy opener. Like, yeah, I think I have my one opening joke, and as long as that goes well, I feel like I can jump into some local stuff to kind of get some momentum going. People like to hear about like their city. Like people like to have their city roasted usually. Philadelphia doesn't, but most places do.
Burn! Shout out to Philly. By the way, when you tried some of that special Canadian, how shall we call it, Jamba Juice, did that open anything up in your brain as far as creativity? Did you think of any new jokes?
No. None.
What was the experience like then? Did you just become like retarded or what?
I'm just so sleepy.
Oh.
Like, it's just like, it's very, very exhausting. I don't know how people do this every day. It's like, I'm trying, and it's just exhausting. I've been sleeping till like 5 p.m.
Huh.
I mean, I feel like jet lag might be related.
It may probably jet lag, but it's doesn't really help for the creativity, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that does help for creativity is like watching Jacob clean his room. That's been pretty good for creativity.
Does he wear pants when he does it?
He did, despite my objections to it.
Yeah.
I want him to go the Tommy Pickles route. Just walk around in a diaper.
I don't know where I would even get a diaper.
Somewhere for free. It's Canada. Free healthcare. Incontinence. Self-medicating.
Was that you, Jacob, who said that Declan has adult diaper vibes?
That was me. Yes.
Means what?
I don't know why. I said I couldn't explain it, and I can't.
Who is
Okay.
I can't
Declan?
actually.
Declan too much.
It's the baldness.
I see. Mhm.
Tommy Pickles.
I don't know what Tommy Pickles is.
Rugrats.
Nope. Like I know Rugrats, but I don't know Rugrats. I've heard of Rugrats.
Gwen.
Grew up in a
Gwen.
hole. Okay.
Gwen. 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 Gwen.
Yep.
Gwen.
So, Donnie, what are some of your like solid jokes about China or about Beijing that there's no way they're going to work in like Kuala Lumpur or somewhere else? You know, like jokes about how the taxi driver, right, thinks you're from Xinjiang, right? That's not gonna.
So no, it works. It does kind of work.
It does. It works.
It's what I did in Vancouver, and what I do in these other places is like I kind of break down what I'm going to explain to them in like the most basic, simple terms, as we said, like as you said earlier, fansplaining. So I just like look at them and like I have a joke about how like in China cities can kind of change provinces. So I like look at these white people in my show in Vancouver. I'm just like, all right, guys, geography time. And then I just like point to the wall and I do it. And it's kind of funny because everybody kind of like gets that I'm explaining to foreigners about China. And there's enough Chinese people in the audience that it's pretty funny for everybody, you know, so like I just set it up in a different way where explaining it is also part of the joke.
I see.
You know, and there's some jokes I took. Let me think.
Joe Coy does a good job of that when he does his Asian jokes, and then he'll stop, and then him like explaining it to non-Asians, and that's kind of funny. And Cat Williams does a good job of that, kind of explaining black jokes to white people in the crowd.
Yeah. So I think I've done pretty good with all of them. I did think I had to change the Xinjiang joke to like being like people think I'm Filipino, and I say, but like not like the New York City kind of Filipino, like the like kind of Filipino who climbs trees with a machete in his mouth, kind of Filipino. And that didn't work, but I thought it was funny, but it didn't work. So.
Are there any jokes that you do just for you? No one ever really laughs, but you do it for yourself.
I used to have one. If Picasso was okay, fine. If Picasso drew pornography, he'd be called Compasso.
All right, I kind of like that one.
That one's just for me. I don't tell it anymore, but I told that for like a year, and nobody ever once laughed, and I just thought it's funny.
All right, Nico,
do you have
got jokes
okay.
that are just for you?
I was just remembering Rob's rose to me last night. He said, I'm a horrible Chinese teacher. All the students I have, he talks to speak awful Chinese, but then they all seems very chilled. He said I'm the most successful sex worker in town. Say students looks very chilled after class, relaxed.
Nico, I heard that you owe Jacob a course.
A lesson, one last lesson.
Is it
After
on
that, I have
diamonds?
no way to pay you.
But your Chinese is good enough.
Look, I don't know if Rob has a lot of platform to stand on. I've never heard him speak Chinese.
Jacob, do you have a Chinese friends there? Is there like a Chinese community? Because, you know, for me in Manila, I have my wife and then her colleagues, you know, sometimes they come over for dinner or we go out somewhere. So I still feel very Chinese.
His doctor is Taiwanese.
Oh.
The surgeon.
What? Who?
Your doctor is Taiwanese.
I think there's a plastic surgery joke or something.
No.
I don't
You're
understand.
The one who did the first surgery. Your chauffeur.
All right. I'm gonna move on. So weirdly enough, like in high school, a lot of my friends were Chinese. However, it's like they're Canadian, and so I don't know. It's like weird to talk about China stuff with them. So like just talk about Canada stuff, dude. I don't know when the last time they went back is. I also have like Chinese friends who like speak less Chinese than I do, and know less things than I do about China, and it's like, all right, Canada. But like that's what I mean. Like this is why Donnie, when you come here and you're like, man, I just want to speak Chinese to all the Chinese people, and I'm like, you can't do that.
I did. I don't like talking to white people here. I don't know how to do it. I feel dumb. I feel like I don't know what to talk to them about. And when I see people who look Asian, who I'm pretty sure are Chinese, I just want to like pounce on them like a leper.
They don't like it.
Not a leper. Oh, sorry, a leopard.
Well, yeah, they don't like that.
Not a leopard.
Did you see the clip I posted on WeChat at an open mic in Manila? There was a second or third generation Chinese in the audience whose Tagalog wasn't his first language and neither was English. And so I did a joke in Mandarin and he still didn't get it because I guess he speaks Fujian Hua at home. His family, they're Fujian. Did you guys see that? It went viral. Super viral.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah. Anyway, no, so I like tried. I was trying jokes in like 3 languages. He didn't laugh at anything. Like, and the title was when nobody laughs at you in any language that you speak.
Do you feel like you wanted to talk to Chinese people or Philippines better, or white people have a difficult feeling like Donnie?
No, I want expats for sure. My best mics in Manila have been when there were foreigners in the crowd, and the other Filipino comedians, they tried to do all English sets, and just doesn't work. And then those are usually the nights where I have the best set. Yeah.
Gotta market.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting a phone call.
It's not me.
How did you hear that before I heard it? That was my alarm for something. What the hell is my alarm for? Oh yeah, I got it. Got something to do.
All right. Well, I think this might be as good a time as any to wrap things up. Any final words, thoughts, things like that?
It was really good to see you guys together again like this. We should do this more often.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, going forward, I guess we'll have a new time. Will this be the new regular time?
Not on a Thursday. I feel like going into the weekend will, I don't know, work maybe a little better.
If weekend evenings work for you, I mean, weekend mornings for me are fine. And
weekday
the viewers too.
Fine.
Yeah, this could be the new morning. It could be the morning show in Chengdu.
Yeah, the morning show. Just like.
Wait, did you say weekday mornings, but not?
They fuck a lot.
I'm sorry, weekday nights for you, but not Thursday night, or what?
I mean, Thursday night is fine. It just if we're gonna go by like the usual talk show times, I'm at work usually.
No. Let's do what works for you. I think morning here is fine for us and for the viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You are almost like falling asleep.
I'm.
You don't talk like in this tone, just very chill and comfortable, and just like sleeping almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit late for me.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
I mean, I was tired before I started the show, and
it's 1 a.m. here.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Yeah.
I got back 4 a.m. So.
Yeah. So the whole struggle bus of a show tonight. Did we get out everything we needed to get out?
I think so.
Scratch
I think
those
so.
itches.
Mm.
It genuinely is good to talk again, to hang out again.
Next time, can our guest not be Donnie Fan?
Guaranteed next time guest is not Donnie Fan.
Oh,
What's
thank God.
what's wrong with Donnie Fan?
You know when like you use the same card trick a lot, it just like loses value a little bit. You tell the same joke like 100 times and people are like, all right, we've heard that one before.
I didn't tell any of the same jokes today.
No, but you're the same guest. We gotta put some space between you and the next callback.
We could give him a recurring segment. What if you can think of like a 10-minute recurring segment you could come on?
The
Donnie Fan-
segment with Donnie Fan.
Donnie Fan tells a story.
Story time with Donnie Fan.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that's that thing they're trying to avoid.
He's gonna come down and do mean things to me, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta go to sleep, and he's probably like not as sleepy as I.
We could do couch surfing with Donnie Fan. Where are you sleeping? Are you sleeping in Jacob's bed or on a chair on the living room table?
I get to share a very nice space with Jacob 3 floors up.
Yeah, he's.
Floors.
So we've got
Yeah,
like.
Jacob's got a huge home.
It's not really mine. I'm subletting with a friend, and we've got a guest bedroom, which
Nice.
yeah, that's where Donnie is. If we're blazing this trail, if we're making a China to Canada circuit, you know, I'm happy to have friends hang out in the bedroom.
Awesome.
I'm sure they can't be worse in the bedroom than Donnie Fan. I mean,
Yeah. Yes, viewers, everybody is welcome to Jacob Wanuch's huge mansion in Toronto, only less than 1 kilometer from a nude beach.
And
oh no, my work is
and
yeah, it's
has
away
a
from the news.
has a broken clock.
It's broken clock.
Mhm.
And by Joe.
And by Joe.
And books about indigenous tribes.
Any animals in the house?
Yes.
Donnie Fan.
A cat?
Occasionally the neighbors.
Occasionally the neighbor.
The neighbor has a cat that like sometimes like wanders into our house if we leave a door open.
Sweet.
They have dust bunnies.
That's also true.
It's not true. They actually are super clean. These are like the cleanest people I've ever met. Except for Jacob's room.
Yeah, I am the exception.
Jacob wouldn't watch Speed Racer with me because he wanted to clean.
I have an excuse. I'm not saying it now. Anyway, I want to say good show. Good to see y'all again. If we go much longer, we have to do a second hoedown, which I am not okay to do.
That's right. We have 5 minutes and 30 and 6 minutes and 29
6.5 minutes or so.
Jacob has an excuse. He was abducted by aliens. A UFO came to him and then it made him sin. It told him he can murder someone if he prays first. And then he ended up murdering 2 people because he developed thirst. Because he developed thirst.
This is actually a pretty good hoedown verse.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel it might have been the best I've heard from you. All right.
Cool.
If you're still watching, why? Otherwise, we're gonna figure out our own ways to our various beds. Thank you very much.
Wait, let me do one more. Let me do one more. Hold on. Just 1 minute. I'm gonna. Wait. I need like 30 seconds. Yeah.
What?
Oh, okay. I got it. Okay. Donnie Fan was in Vancouver, met this Filipino chick. She offered to do lines of coke off his flaccid dick. She pulled out some ketamine, but he was afraid. Then she pulled out some ketamine, but he was too afraid. At the end of the night, he didn't get laid.
Story of my life.
Thank you. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know I was.
Oh, you could have said know it, and then it would have rhymed.
That's the point of the joke. By the way. Knock knock.
No, we don't open our doors.
We don't. They actually have a sign. Jacob's home has a sign outside that says, "Don't contact us."
You don't put things in our mailbox.
Yeah.
We have a sign.
Right.
That
They don't talk to people.
things in our mailbox.
Which, you know what's a useless sign? That.
Oh, it's a legal thing. Like
Really?
literally, yeah. So like they literally won't put flyers and like other ads into your mailbox if you have that sign out. So that's why everyone has these like janky ass signs that be like, "Don't put ads in my mailbox."
That's janky.
I wonder if I put ads in my mailbox, if they'd see it and put ads in, or if they'd like think that I said don't. Because who would say put ads in my mailbox?
Nobody, man. It's like we have a cookie setting for our fucking mailboxes. It's weird.
That's funny. All right, you know what? It's 3 minutes, Jacob.
Yep, I'm calling it. Good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We're gonna go offline. We might
you
talk
for allowing
privately
us to do
after that. Thanks for
Thank you to our guest Donnie Fan and our special guest host of the movie quiz, Nicole Too Much.
Great quiz, Nico. I got 2 right.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Night.